Alright, let's look at Hobby Japan Vintage Volume 8. This is the Artmic's 1980s. It says Artmic and their 80s. So, obviously this is all related to model kits based off of the Artmic Animation Studios. And, gosh, I'll have to say, the previous video I did, unfortunately, I got some comments that it was out of focus, and I think it's because it was like late on a Friday night, and I only just had this overhead fluorescent light above me, and I didn't have any other lights in the room. And I noticed that when the aperture is not sufficient, then it kind of doesn't focus very well. It takes a very long time to focus. And that's why I was making like these really long pauses and such. Well, obviously this is not Artmic, but here we go. So again, these Hobby Japan Vintage, these magazines are kind of aimed at my generation. Obviously people in Japan, though, because this is a Japanese magazine. But anyhow, stuff of interest, right? And I imagine that Zoomers would probably be like, oh my gosh, there's this movie called 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it's so boring and so long. Oh my gosh, I can't stand it. Yeah. Stanley Kubrick doesn't know what he's doing. There's no car chases. There's no explosions. I couldn't follow it. I just got bored and turned it off. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I just know that. Shit. I mean, when I saw this movie, I was like in the 5th grade, and I was just glued to it. And I was like, I ended up staying up until like, I don't know, like 11 or 12 at night or something, and I was just enthralled with it. And then I tried reading the book, and I got kind of tired of the monkeys part. I got kind of really sick of that. But anyhow, so this not only just does like vintage kits, but it also does do some modern kits that are of interest to the age group. That's why you get a lot of Star Trek stuff, like I believe I showed in a previous video. Alright, so Artmic. Well, who are Artmic? Golly. Alright, so there's Mospeada. Alright, this is like the 3rd season of Robotech, and I hate referencing Robotech because really, I mean, come on, get with it. I mean, once you see their Japanese originals, although I gotta say though that Southern Cross is not that great. It's like even in Japanese and in English, it's just yeah. So anyhow, yeah, Artmic in their 80s. All right, so they were rather and obsessed with transforming motorcycles, and that is really freaking awesome, right? So you got starts out with Techno Police 21C. I saw this on YouTube. Yeah, it's been a few years ago, but you can actually watch it on YouTube. Do a search. So here, this is Mospeada. This is what, 1983, right? And then we have Megazone 23, and then Megazone 23 Part 2, Maddox 01, freaking cool, very cool. This is Gal Force. Oh yeah, Starfront Gal Force. This is like the original. I think it was like, yeah, it was in Model Graphics magazine, and then they actually had Gal Force, the anime. Alright, Kenichi Sonoda, and of course he also did Bubblegum Crisis. So yeah, Gal Force predates Bubblegum Crisis. So you got lots of bikes that transform into robots, and that's freaking cool. Alright, so they cannot interview Suzuki, what's his name, because he's dead. There's a really cool channel called Mercury Falcon, and he did a really educational video on Suzuki, what's his name. You know, we'll come across him here because they're talking about their eccentric former boss. Alright, so yeah, there he is. Yes, Suzuki Shacho. So yeah, he's a goofball. So yeah, he got involved with the Yakuza, and he went missing, and he wound up dead somewhere. It's crazy, really wild story. Mercury Falcon, definitely recommend finding that video. All right, so this is that Techno Police, and it has some cool ideas, and it's kind of like a predecessor to like 80 Police kind of stuff, right? Bubblegum Crisis, I guess, kind of. It's a movie. It's about like a renegade tank. It's like a automated tank that goes on a rampage, and they have to stop it. I think there were 2 tanks. I can't remember. It has some cool concepts, but it's just dumb, and really cool designs though. Like these 2 tanks here. What is this called? Mazurka, and this is the Temjin. They're really cool. So as like the other videos, the other issues, they just build the kits as is without painting them or anything, just to show you what it looks like. It's kind of a waste, I guess, but whatever. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was involved with them too. That is Miyatake. That's Kazutaka Miyatake. He was involved with Macross. Alright, so we're going straight into Mospeada. So, yeah, there was, what are they called? What is that? Gakken versus Imai. They have like different versions of the same thing, right? So the Gakken kits are pretty hard to find. The Imai kits are easier to find these days. They kind of have pluses and minuses to each one. I don't... Are they the same scale? Yeah, look, like the guns here are like, they look totally different. I think the detail looks better on the Gakken, but whatever. The variable Legios conversion type, right? So this would be a transformable model kit, and it's in 48 scale. Like, actually, compared to the Valkyries, these are like really small, if I remember right. They're if you see them side by side, they're like really small compared to each other. All right, so it's showing like the transformation gimmick and such. Alright. This is the kit that I had. And actually I sold it a few years ago. I took it to book off and I dumped it with a bunch of other kits I figured I was never going to get around to building. I still have like way too many kits for one person to build in my lifetime because I'm a spaz. Yeah, the 3 is like what? Armo Soldier? Okay, so the Armo Fighter, that's the fighter, right? Armo Diver is like the Gerwalk version, and then the Armo Soldier, that's like the Batroid version. So they have different kits of the non-transformable versions of each. Alright, so now we're getting into Megazone 23. And like the first episode is cool. I believe like Megazone 23 like part 2, it's like when they're like they're in space and like the aliens attack with like these steel cables that just rip people to shreds. It's really disgusting. And I was watching that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's freaking intense. And Maddox 01, which incidentally they have a new version. I think it's in the Motoroid Yeah, the Motoroid series by, I want to say Max Factory makes those. This was like a really highly sought after resin kit. Alright, so here are the ride armors of, oh, like what, Lancer, Yellow Dancer, no, Yellow I think, Stig, and Huke, I think her name is. Yeah, Yellow. Oh, Ray. That's the Ray type. Oh, where's Stig then? That's Fuke. Oh, here's Stig and Fuke, so it comes in it together. That's weird. I did not know that. Aoshima repops these, right? These were Imai molds, and Aoshima, they repop these. And actually, that brief stint that I worked at Aoshima, the one guy who handles this this type of stuff, he's like, "Hey, what do you think? Would this sell well in America?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we had Mospeada in America." So he wanted my opinion on that, and I told him, "Yeah, you can. It would be good to repop those." Because at that time, this is like what, 8 years ago or whatever. They had not popped those in a very long time. And I believe Wave, they have way superior model kits to the Legios. And I don't know if they've ever had, we'll look in here, but I don't think they had, like, what they called, like, Legios is what they called the Alpha and Robotech, and then there was the Beta Fighter, which is called Tread. I don't think they had any model kits of that, unfortunately. They have toys of it, but, yeah. Alright. So, look at this. Look at this. This is an actual resin garage kit of the Megazone 23. I'm munching candy. You got some Spy Family hard candies in my mouth. There's Eve from Megazone 23. Character designs by Haruhiko Mikimoto. Sorry, Haruhiko Mikimoto, right? From Macross fame. Here's the garland, right? The Megazone 23. Mecha and Bishoujo Pope Haruku. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, this is an interview with Sonoda, Kenichi Sonoda. That's cool. All right. And incidentally, that guy, he's like one of my favorite. I swear, like, okay, so Kenichi Sonoda from, Bubblegum Crisis and all that. Mikimoto from Macross. And probably number 3 with me would be Sadamoto, right? Like Nadia, Eva, those 3 are probably my top 3 anime character designers. He's kind of retired. I mean, he still does art sometimes, but he runs like a souvenir shop. It's like in Kyushu somewhere, right down close to Nagasaki. So these are like some, posters here he's did back then. Wonder Festival 1985 summer. That's awesome. That's really cool. Hopefully this is in... Yeah, it looks like it's in focus this time. Now this is really cool, and this probably goes for a lot of money now. This is a resin kit of Rabi from Golf Force, and it's... No, it's not posable, never mind. So now we're getting into Bubblegum Crisis. It's freaking cool. Now who made this, actually? Oh, Artmic? Wait, no. Who made this? Oh, I guess Artmic did it themselves, I guess. That's weird. Now, these are resin kits by Kyodo. Now, here's this is Pris in her suit. Alright, basically like the underwear type suit. And here she is in her plain clothes. These are semi-posable resin kits, and I've seen these on Yahoo Auctions Japan. Never picked any of them up. I have one, it's a B Club of Lena in her hard suit. But yeah, these are 1/8 scale, you know, pretty decent size. And yeah, you can see the hinges and such here. So Pris, Celia, Lena, and Nene. And I think you have to, like, tell me problem. Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, you have to make it yourself. Okay. So this is more Artmic and Imai. Now this is Meguro Zamak, which was a proposed anime that never really happened, but they went ahead and just released the model kits anyways. I guess they were going to have it like geared up to be simultaneously released. Like here's like this is a Gerwalk F4 Phantom. Pretty wild, huh? These go for a lot. These are collector's items. Because I think they were probably never repopped. But yeah, they got a bunch of these here. Looks like they're not going to show them all. Mechanical Zoo. That's kind of... Huh. Eat my... Alright, I guess Artmic did the designs for this, I guess. Yeah. Original Monkey Sekai. Okay, yeah, these are just original Artmic designs. Okay, so custom building works. Here we go. This is when they really build them for super serious, really, right? Look at the level of customization they've done on these. Scanny. Yeah, I can't remember. They had like these android robots that, I don't know, I can't remember what the deal with those were, but they had to like, they were like these police robots, and there was like a male and a female. This is the female one, obviously. Alright, so ride armor. Really cool. Now the model kits though, okay, so these can transform. The problem though is when they're in bike form, these things are not jointed well enough to actually like have their knees curl up, you know, to fold up enough to sit on the bike. So they can't really fit on the bike properly. I mean, if you want to get like a 12 scale Hatsune Miku figure and put her on top of it instead, that would be great. But as it is, in bike mode, they're pretty lousy. And I think, well, let me go back and show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, like you can have them like standing up, but like the legs just kind of like hang out the back. There's no way to actually have them in proper position. It's kind of sad. But that's 1980s model kit engineering for you. Alright. And actually there is a, who makes it? I forget. It's a self-B of Pris in her hard suit. What did they do? Did they resculpt the faces, maybe? I don't know. Don't take a long while to try to translate this stuff. And here's Genesis Breaker. Alright, this is like a follow-up. I think it's just like a unofficial fan kind of a sequel to Mospeada. Alright, Genesis Climber Mospeada. This is Genesis Breaker. I don't know what the story behind this is. I'm too lazy to try to translate this. Alright, so here's a interview with Tokyo Hands, Gunpla Dash. Oh, hey, look at that! Hobby Japan, look at that. There's freaking Luke on the Tauntaun. Oh, that's cool. Space World. That's cool. Yeah, lots of nostalgic stuff. And a bunch of anime figures. I mean, look how they're just so clunky looking back then, right? The level of design for, like, I got some like really old Tsukuda figure kits with that from the early 80s. I had what's her name, Ran from Urusei Yatsura, and it's just very clunky. Very clunky. There's a Semendine model kit glue. That's goofy. And what are we looking at here? 1972 F86F. Whatever, these are just old vintage model kits here. Oh, what is that? King Ghidorah, I think. Invasion of Oro monsters. Isn't that Ghidorah? I'm not that big on Godzilla names. These are model. These are plastic kits, right? I don't think that they're soft B. Yeah, these are plastic model kits. Oh no, there's yeah, there's also soft V as well. Aurora, Maru-san, and Maru Aun Sophie, whatever that is. I don't know. Maru Aun. Weird. Oh, stiletto. That's cool. It's pointy. That's pretty pointy. The Creepy Coop. That's. What is this? Wacky Races? Gosh, I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Just don't remember. Yeah. Alright, Wacky Races. There you go. Alright, now, going back to Mobius. I think Mobius... Well, no, this is Polar Lights? What's going on here? It says Polar Lights here, but here in the box it says Mobius, doesn't it? I can't see. No, I guess it says Polar Lights. So, did Polar Lights buy out No, I don't know what the story is. Mobius is kaput, I think. I don't know if Frank Winsper is still alive. Beats me. And I have no idea what this is. 70s robot stuff. Oh, this is Aural. Alright, Dr. Slump stuff. I think Bandai made those. Or Arare. No, not Aural. Arare-chan. Yeah, that's wild. And 60s FF vehicle. They misspelled that. Delta 3. Yeah, I don't know what this is, man. It looks pretty cool. Oh, this is neat though. Yeah, they're kaput. I think they were located in Tochigi Prefecture once upon a time. And there's Tamiya, 1964 to 1970. Really old stuff here. Just vintage flyers. And there you have it. Look at that. Bubblegum Crisis VHS. Sony Walkman. not New Coke, is it? It's before it says Coca-Cola Classic, and well, that's it. So that is our adventure into the past with Artmic Studios. So yeah, Mercury Falcon. I'll try to remember provide a link to that rather informative video of that guy. So thanks for watching. Bye.